Alright, I'm ready to start using some primer here on a few of these problem spots. This is a little old, so I gotta shake it up, get it nice and ready. I'm gonna focus first on this spot and these two spots, two or three spots, I guess. I think those are the biggest problem spots, but there are little things all around the car. So there are little chips here and there. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's caked on wax and what's a chip, but we have the car pretty well cleared off to take a look at the condition of the paint. Little tiny things here and there. Some of them, if they're real small, since the paint, even though it's supposed to be the exact same color, a few of the spots that I did on my car, the paint ends up looking a little darker like that. So if it's a really, really tiny spot, I might just wax over it rather than doing the touch-up. So although each of these do have a brush side and a pen side, so I'll try to, for the real small ones that I'm still going to do, I'm going to try to use the pen so it's not too aggressive and so it's not showing up too bad. But let's get started here and start priming up these rougher spots. Let me see what I can do. Don't want to get too much on there, but good little spot. That spot looks like it almost could have had primer, but just not been cleaned up after that. So you only really need the primer for these spots where it's down to the metal. I'll go get a rag and clean that up a little better. But that'll help. That's a good little start. Alright, time for the color coat for this. Let's see. Yep, that'll dry up pretty well. I'm a little nervous about this part, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Okay, hopefully that dries up the same color as the paint around it. It's a little gloppy, but should clear up okay, I would assume. I did let the primer sit for like 6 hours. I think you're only really required to let it sit for like an hour. Alright, while I'm waiting for some of these spots to dry up, I think I'm going to take this Rain-X and clean up some of the windows around the car. Alright, I've been touching up a few spots around the car. We got a couple over here, a couple on the opposite corner, then a couple in the door, in the doors as well. See, I just discovered another little spot. I feel like I'll be doing this forever, but I've gotten most of the big ones. Up next, it's time for the clear coat. So, add some clear coat. I've been letting this stuff dry for a little while. Alright, it's the next morning now, and I'm excited to get started with waxing the car. So, the process for this is we're going to take this wax. I've used this wax before, and I like this one the most, but you can go out and experiment with your own types of wax, because I haven't tried too many. But it's 2 steps, so we'll take this. I'm going to put it on this blue cloth, wipe it down, get the wax onto the whole car, onto all the paint. Then we're going to go back through and we're going to try to get the wax off. If you don't take the wax back off, it'll leave like a hard waxy residue, and it just won't do quite as well with the shine. I'll go back through and clean up the little things here and there. Alright, I've waxed up the whole car here. I've waited like 20 to 30 minutes since I started, but most of that time was while I was still working on other parts. So I'm going to go back through and wipe down the areas that I started with and work my way pretty much from the front to the back and get rid of all this wax before it hardens. Alright, while I wait for my second coat of wax to do its stuff in the back of the car, I went to take these lug nuts off. They have little covers that I popped off. It's easier to loosen the lug nuts before you lift up the car, but you can see one lug nut on each wheel has this security lock, and I don't have the correct lug or socket type to remove that. So I'm going to have to clean these wheels without pulling them off the car, which is a little bit disappointing. It'll be a little tougher to get in there and get all of it out. So the result of that would be the wheels will get dirty a little quicker. But there's not really a whole lot that I can do about that at the moment. Up next, I'm using this Armor All wheel and tire cleaner. The rear wheels look a lot better already than the front wheels. I didn't do anything with them yet, but the majority of the braking in a Miata, or really most vehicles on the road, is done by the front brakes. So what that does is when the front brakes are braking, more brake dust is produced, and that is the majority of what we're seeing here. Oh my goodness, look at that. See? Yeah, that's going to clean up nice, but right now, yeah, the front wheels are just pretty disgusting. And here are the hubcaps. These, you can see the spaces between where they go around the lug nuts, like that. And there's a little tab. I guess the tab's in the actual wheel, but this, whenever you need to take these off, you just put a flathead screwdriver right in the end there, kind of twist it a little, and it'll pop right off. I don't suggest using pretty much anything other than a flathead screwdriver. I've tried other things, and it seemed like it was going to scratch up the little plastic bits, which these are. You can see also the paint on these tend to come off real bad. So I'm going to be extremely gentle. I'm probably just going to use soapy water to clean those, but I'll use the actual wheel cleaner on the steel wheels because the paint is baked into the steel a lot better than it would be on the plastic. So I decided that for dramatic effect I'd start with this wheel for you guys. So and I'll probably need more towels than this. I've used shop towels to collect this stuff in the past, but so much of this comes off. I don't think the shop towels are the best option. I'm also likely going to run out of this wheel cleaner, especially if I'm doing my Miata as well. And you can see I try to be a little gentle and not get too much on the brake disc. See how much is just oozing off of that. The before and after for the wheels is going to be pretty intense. Alright, the wheels are looking a lot better. I believe that concludes day 10 of this Miata revival, and that's likely my last day for the daily uploads. It is starting to rain a little bit, so I look a little silly with my helmet on here, but it is starting to rain a little bit, so I'm going to pull the car back in here. But I just wanted to put it in the light and show you guys the major difference from the beginning of this series. I'm excited to get this car to the car show. The only thing I could think of doing at this point would be a little tire shine, but I do need to start working on the 91, get that car ready for the car show as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the series. If you did, put a little thumbs up, share it with anyone that you think would enjoy it. I've really enjoyed making these videos, so the more encouragement I get, the more likely I am to do this sort of thing in the future.